Hey everyone, Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business. Today we're going to be talking about my dividend portfolio with the 6th update in the series. So going forward, I will only be doing one a month, and I will be releasing it very close to my report for the previous month. So my last post was the July report, and this is the dividend report. So I'll just be doing them monthly and keeping them very close together when I post them, so that you guys can get all this information kind of in a small time span, and make sure that it's kind of closer to the previous month rather than waiting too long into the month to actually see the results from the last month. So with that in mind, let's dive into this. So this is all of the dividends that I've gotten from my actual stocks, for my stock market investing. We'll dive into crypto and everything else in just a moment. But as you can see, this is the total that I've made for the year, or rather just overall. But I mean, 99% of what I've made has been in this year. It was just this 357 here that I got in December. Otherwise, it was like 3 cents. So again, the bulk of this has been in 2020. And since I only really started to get heavily invested in 2020, this is starting to look really, really good. And the last 2 months have been pretty much the average, like close to the average projection, which is about $50 a month. So we know we're in like full swing here with all the stocks that I've been purchasing. And I expect a lot of these months to reflect this and be very similar to this. However, obviously, I will be continuing to invest every month and putting back all the dividends that I'm getting back into buying more stocks. So ideally, this will reflect the average monthly income projections as we have here. Obviously, it won't be that exponential, but you know, that's the goal. So I've actually been making more income. So I've been saving up a lot of money over the past little while so that if there is another dip in the stock market, I won't miss out. But because there's really no way to know if that's ever going to actually happen, or crypto, I'm just going to be dollar cost averaging in. So what that means is every month at the same time, I'm going to put the same amount of money and the just market price. I'm going to buy, I'm going to be buying a lot of different things. So I'm going to be dollar cost averaging into the stock market. So I'll still have stocks that I'm looking for to get. But whenever I get that money in, I'll just buy stocks on that day. I won't be like looking to time it or like waiting a day or trying to do it a day early. I'll just be buying the stocks outright unless there's like some crazy changes. And then I'll also be dollar cost averaging into gold and Bitcoin. So if you're unaware, or I haven't really shared much about my crypto portfolio, I have been 100% keeping all of my crypto in crypto. And I haven't put any fiat into crypto since my original investing about 3.5 years ago. I put about $5,500 Canadian, and everything that I have earned since has stayed in crypto. So anything I've gotten in crypto from social media or whatever it happens to be, it's stayed in crypto. And I've been making buys and investments, and everything that I've been doing with my crypto has been in crypto. So I haven't been funding any money in, but it's almost at $20,000 US, my crypto portfolio. So that is absolutely phenomenal. If you guys are really interested, please comment to let me know if you'd like to see me go through Blockfolio and maybe do a regular series on that as well. I'm slightly hesitant because I don't want people trying to like copy my portfolio and then losing a bunch of money because I bought in at a very different time or a different opportunity or whatever it happens to be. But if you guys are really interested, I would be happy to share that with you. Just let me know. But yeah, so going forward, I will be buying Bitcoin every month. I'll be dollar cost averaging in because I'm getting a lot more fiat income. And because I am paying for a lot of my expenses with my crypto, because I just want to live that truth and make it a reality rather than, I could just save it all and probably make more money in the long run, but I want to really adjust my life and align it with crypto to the point where I could just fund my entire lifestyle just from crypto. So I'm staying true to that because I believe in it. I want to be able to have the ins and outs really, really down once that actually is the case, once I'm actually fully living on crypto, because I do intend to do that. So right now I'm just building all that up, and I'll be putting in $500 a month, dollar cost averaging in. I'll also be buying gold and doing some other stuff with all my excess money, because right now I am saving about 65+% of my income. I say about because it could be more. It also could be less. some of it is based on an estimation, but over the past 3 months, I have saved 65% of my income. But going forward, I don't know exactly. I am generally estimated to continue to do that. So we'll see. And if you guys are interested, I'm also thinking about starting a series on that because I know most people can't even save like 25% of their income. So I'd be happy to jump in and share what I'm doing, as I've been doing with like Twitter tips and stuff like that, but actually do like a series where I do like a regular post, maybe once a month or every 2 weeks or something. You guys let me know if you'd like to see that, because I know saving income is very, very challenging. But once you kind of get some of the steps down, it becomes just dramatically easier to do, and it becomes like a snowball effect. And interestingly enough, once I started to really focus on saving money, it's more than just saving to save. It's you start saving money and then finding ways to use that money, finding better ways to spend money in general. And again, I'm not saving to save. I'm investing all that saved money. Not that saved money isn't just sitting around. It's working to make more money because I'm putting it to work. So that's really important as well. Just saving to save is not very, there's not a lot of motivation or gratification from doing that. But when I'm like, okay, I cut my own hair, right? So how much am I saving? Okay, say I'm saving about $40 every 1.5 months, including tip, Ubering there and back. $40 is actually probably generously low. If you're doing that every 1.5 months, that means that is $80 every 3 months. Times that by 4, you've got $240 every year. That is going to add up, right? Like, I mean, $240 isn't crazy, but what can that buy you? Okay, that can buy you like 4 TD stocks, and they will pay you about 5.24%. And then eventually, after a few years of doing this, your stocks from the dividends will pay for more stocks. And then, a few years in, you're getting 1 stock every year just from those stocks. And you keep doing this. And then you're 10 years in, and now you're getting like 5 stocks every year. Plus you've got, 30, 40 stocks, whatever it happens to be. By the time you're like 30, 40, 50 years down the road, because you just didn't get haircuts at a hair place, you've not only saved tens of thousands of dollars, but you've invested it into the stock market, which will appreciate the stock, and you'll get the dividends, which might appreciate as well. You're going to be really, really well off. And the amount of dividends that you'll actually be getting from this by the end will be able to pay for all of your haircuts. Probably after like 25 years, I would be unsurprised if that paid for all of your haircuts, or even less than that. So the idea is that if you forego something and you can do it long enough and invest that money, that thing that you gave up could now be afforded for the rest of your life because you gave it up. And this all goes back to the idea of entrepreneurship. People who are wildly successful are the people who are willing to live the way that most are not willing to live, so that they can live the way that most cannot live. Elon Musk slept on the floor or something at his office, and he showered at the YMCA, the gym that he was had a subscription to. So, it all convalesces into something really, really crazy down the line. And the haircut thing is just for instance. Obviously, I'm not taking into the account that the TD stock will go up, so the money that you save will not be able to afford the TD stock, but haircuts will probably get more expensive with inflation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's probably not a perfect analogy, but it definitely is the right way to approach investing. And you could do that for any buying decision, right? So let's get back to this, because I don't want to spend too much time doing this. I basically already did the how to save money breakdown. So this is for crypto income. Now, with this, this might change pretty drastically, because I was doing a lot of different things, and we'll dive into that when I get into the actual individual purchases. But as you can see, so far, I've made a pretty decent amount here. I'll add something here actually that tracks this, just for convenience sake, so that we have a nice little number here. Actually, just real quick. I'll just do this so that we can see right now. There we go. So $101 is how much we've earned from crypto. That's actually really good because it's not a ton less than what I've earned from stocks. And this doesn't even take into account appreciation. So a lot of this is probably way more valuable ever since we had the massive run up on the prices of everything. So this is just what I made in the instance that I made it. Again, probably worth $200-$300 now. But yeah, so there's a lot of opportunity in crypto because everything that you make has a good chance of going up in value if it's bullish. Obviously, if it's bearish, you might be losing money, which is kind of the downside of crypto. But for the most part, this doesn't really seem to be an issue. This seems to be, I'm getting the upside of this. Obviously, it won't be like that forever, but you can do what you want with the dividends. If you decide that it's good to just take them out during a bullish period and really maximize the gains, do that. If you want to hold on to them and then sell them when it's more bullish, or while it's bearish, you hold on to it and then wait for it to become a bullish again. That is something you can do. A lot of these though will pay out in the currency that you're staked in if you're doing staking. So it really just depends how you want to do it. I mean, you could just sell off a bit, or you could just keep it and keep going and compound your interest. There's a lot of different things that you can do. But the great thing about crypto is that usually you can compound interest. Whereas with stocks, you're not like buying more stocks automatically, or like with fractional stock shares or anything like that. So you're still limited to what you can get. Whereas with crypto, you can automatically compound your crypto. So that is a huge bonus for staking. And up until recently, we've just been earning via staking and realty and a few other things that we'll dive into. But now, over the past couple of weeks, I've been really diving into crypto lending. So we're going to dive into that today. I've tested out a ton of platforms. I'll do a more full review of the different platforms because I did a review originally, and then I tested out a lot more platforms, tested out a lot more features on the platform. So I have a little bit more to say. I will save that for that review though. Now, diving into my individual stock purchases and sells, I'll start from the top here. So I sold out of Alaris Royalty Corporation because it is a finance stock and it was way, way up. Like I had a lot of money gained on it, but it was still way down. And a lot of people seem really concerned about financial stocks right now. And I have no real reason to be super loyal to them. That was just like one of the picks that I made originally. Probably wasn't even like a very safe pick because the dividend was like 13%, which is just outrageously high. Usually, as long as the company's still going up in value, it's not that big of an issue. But 13%, when it's not a real estate company, I get that it's a royalty corporation, but I just don't know how I feel about that. And if you're not very confident and you're well in the green, you might as well just sell it, right? So, I mean, none of this is financial advice, but if you're not super confident in something, but you're well in the green for making money, then you might as well just make your money. So I put this into a few different other stocks, and we'll dive into that in just a sec. I also sold out half of my agriculture stock just because there wasn't very many good ones that I found that paid dividends. This was one of them, but I'd rather get a little more exposure. So my next buy will be in a agriculture ETF. I did want to lock in my gains though, because this was like way, way up. And I don't want to be too much in agriculture, probably like just 1% now. I had it set to 2 or 3%. I want to move some of that focus more into the tech field. So that's what I'll be doing going forward. I also bought a lot more energy stocks and a little bit of real estate just because there's still a ton of price opportunity here. And I think these stocks are solid. The reason that I went for energy was just, it seems like energy and gas, or rather oil, are way, way down right now. So there's still a lot of price opportunity, and I'm confident in the fact that we're still going to keep using oil. I think it was all just part of this crisis, and as things really get back to normal, as they kind of they are starting to, aside from masks and stuff like that, I think we're going to see oil go back to a more reasonable place. Maybe not its previous all-time high, but a much more reasonable place than it is now. So that is kind of the thought process there. So I bought these stocks with that money that I'd sold off at the beginning of, well, no, I covered that in the last one. And then the last thing that I did very recently was I had also bought some of this oil stock here, Interpipeline Limited. I'm going to be buying another oil stock soon. I'll let you guys know on the next one though. But yeah, for this one, I just put $500 in and just bought these because I'm just going to be doing $500 a month now as I kind of spread out where I'm investing. Like I said, I'm doing gold, I'm doing Bitcoin. Yeah, and then I'm just kind of saving up my nest egg on the side in case there's a big dip. And if anything changes, maybe I will change the way that I'm investing. But I really want to build a better defensive portfolio before I go back to my regular strategy. And what I mean by that is, like, I want to have more gold, and I just want to have a better backup, so to speak. So that's what I'll be doing there. And my total portfolio right now with everything is 17,300 Canadian. In terms of just the stocks, it is at 11,541, which is up 7.54%. Honestly, guys, amazing. If there's ever a crash and you buy in, by no means am I like an expert, or I'm really an amateur, right? This is probably a lot of luck. I mean, I think I picked really good sectors and really safe stocks to invest in. I wasn't like speculating going for like a growth stock. I was going for solid fundamentals. But yeah, I mean, being up 7.54% while, you know, like the Dow Jones and everything still hasn't recovered and there's still so much price opportunity, honestly, so amazing. And I am more than thrilled to be in the good position where I am in. But you know, there could be a huge dip at any time, and that's why you have the cash reserves to buy back in and really take advantage. I can't stress how little money I had in the crash originally, and how important that money would have been to me that I invested all of it. I basically invested all of my savings in the crash. I didn't have much savings, but I invested it all. And I'm really happy I did. And now my annual dividend projection is a little over $600, which averages out to be $52 a month, with an average payout dividend yield of 5.18%. Again, none of this is like perfectly accurate, but it's pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate. So then when you include my crypto payouts and my realty income, that brings us up to about $97.94 monthly on average. This is just from royalties from music, but I'm spreading it out annually and then dividing it all by 12. And then we get just under $100 annually. And I want to see this a lot higher by the end of the year. I want this to at least pay for my cell phone and internet. At least. So that'll be like 110 or something like that, which is absolutely going to be possible. In a more ambitious goal, I'll say 188 to pay for my student loans will be the goal. So realty, I haven't done anything differently. I haven't bought any new properties. What's actually really, really impressive is they've got like 12 or 13 properties and they've sold out almost all of them except for one, which is their more recent one in Florida here. And I'm blown away at how effective this is. Like, they're just going to keep acquiring properties. I'm waiting for them to get a few more properties in like Florida or just outside of Detroit, just because I'd love to diversify the location a little bit more, especially because there aren't really many platforms or services that offer this. And I want to be able to take full advantage, but still, you know, diversify and not just rely on them. But this has been really great. They've continued paying out regularly. honestly, absolutely fantastic. One of the easiest ways to make your money make more money. And then lastly, there's a lot of changes on this. All right. So I sold off all of my refund tokens, which was kind of just like a small project ran by someone who I know from Uptrend, and they reached out to me, asked if I was interested. I bought in, I stayed for a while. Then when he was doing a payout, and I don't blame him at all because this is like very new, it's a very small team. You know, it's kind of like a startup test project-ish. I don't want to diminish it either and say that it's like not a full good project, but he had a automated payout system for dividends quarterly, and it didn't pay me, and then he had a bunch of issues trying to get me the money, and that's just not viable. And I wouldn't want to report on this to give you the idea that it is a viable way to make money, because there could be issues with payment and stuff, and by no means am I saying anything bad about him or the project. But personally, if it's supposed to be automated and it isn't getting automated properly or whatever, I just really did not feel safe staying in that token. So I sold out at like 3 or 4x. So I wasn't too concerned. I definitely made a lot of money there. And I'm starting to move away from some of the more, I don't know, sketchy, or, I mean, I don't want to call this sketchy, just the less polished, less official projects is what I'm kind of getting. I'm going to more towards the more polished, more official, more fully completed, bigger team type projects. And I'm sorry to the smaller guys, but if I'm going to be putting my money in long term, I can't be making bets on like startup crypto projects. I took out a lot of my Tron. So, I mean, there might be people who won't agree with what I'm doing with my Tron stuff, but I don't feel like I trust Tron. Justin Sun has been running all the new acquisitions he's purchased into the ground. Okay, DLive sucks without PewDiePie. It's still the same awful like infrastructure in the way that they give out rewards and all that stuff. So that sucks. Steam has continued to do worse and worse. So that sucks. Tron has a good community and there's a lot of stuff going on, lots of gambling. But with him there, I don't know if they're going to do some crazy other stupid thing and waste a ton of money, and that might affect the price of Tron. I sold out the majority of my Tron because when I originally bought in, I had 4 projects or so, like 4 platforms that I invested about $700 into each. Now it's more like I invest a couple hundred into every single thing that I'm testing out, and I'm just really diversified only with a little bit of money being actually invested into those things. Sorry guys, I'm like hiccuping and stuff because I just ate, and then yeah. And then with Bittorrent, that's another sketchy one because yeah, it was good. I was earning money by staking on DLive, but now they have a new thing where they're giving the majority of the rewards to the partners, even though the partners only have like 1/20th. I think it was they have 1/20th of the well, let's not even speculate. Let's just bring it up. Last time I checked, the partners got about they had 1/20th of the total stake, but they were getting about like 1/5 of the payout. So yeah, they have less than $1 billion. There's 20 billion staked, and yet yesterday, they were paid $8 million and they were paid $2 million, meaning that we're only getting 14% and they're getting 91%. I don't think that's good at all. I think this just really de-incentivizes people to stay staked in if all of their money is going to go to these people. I said, this is silly, even though this is not bad. This has been dropping rapidly and this has been going up. So honestly, screw these guys. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's just my take, and I'm kind of sour about it. I never even thought that DLive was good. I was just doing this to test out BTT because I like Bittorrent, but not for this. And I've just decided the easiest thing for me to do is just sell out completely out of Bittorrent and switch the way that I'm investing to just focus more on good fundamentals and stuff like that. So we'll see. I'll be looking for more projects, and I'm testing out a lot of different lending projects. So we'll see how this plays out. Now, for BitMax, I did sell a good amount, but the price also went up like just a crazy amount. I always say that once you double your money, you should sell half, which is what I did. But then the price went up even more. This isn't even up to date. Let me check what it is right now. So it's a little bit higher. It actually ended up going even higher. Like it went up to like 8 cents or something like that. And then I sold another like several thousand because I was just like, wow, like this is ridiculously amazing. So yeah, originally when I bought it, it was, I had just a crazy amount of it, but today it is worth 729 Canadian. And that is more than anything else except for Bittorrent, which again, I will be selling as soon as possible, probably tomorrow or the next day. I didn't realize that there was actually a 2-week stakeout period for Bittorrent. That's not good at all. I didn't realize that it was that long. And now that I know, I'm actually really glad that I'm selling out. You should avoid long stakeout periods because then you'll miss like all the great gains. Something that's interesting with BitMax is you have to wait 24 hours or give up 10% for an instant redemption. And the price had gone up so much for the 8% that I did the 10% instant redemption. And I made more money than had I waited because at 24 hours later, it was way down. So I made the right call. It was a little risky, but no matter what, I was making a ton of money because this is way, way, way up. But this has been really, really good. One of my favorites because it pays out in USDT. So you never have any issues of like the actual payout losing value. The only unfortunate thing is you can't really easily like compound the interest, and because you have to wait until you have enough and then buy more and then keep doing that. I was doing that for a while, but I haven't done that recently. I'm gonna just let it continue to gain and then continue buying again, because I did sell out a lot because, I mean, again, it's way up in price. Really good sell on my part. And this is just a fantastic platform and a way to make money. So, it's interesting. I'm getting sketched out with a lot of these platforms and selling out. KuCoin I sold out entirely. BitTorrent I'm selling out entirely. BitMax has just been so good that I'm just going to stay in. A lot of these have just been paying out really well on Binance, just from basic leaving them there, soft staking, and just getting payouts in the currency itself. A lot of these went up an insane amount. FET specifically went up like, yeah, you can see here, this is almost 4x. I think it's like 9 cents now. Honestly, ridiculous. Yeah, but yeah, it 4x'd and I sold most of it. Again, like, look, you guys, this is a dividend portfolio platform or investing strategy, not platform, but if I'm making 4 to 5x on something, yeah, I'm gonna sell it. That's just how it goes. I think the best way to diversify your portfolio is to sell out like half or whatever, get your original money back. And if you can get even more than that, that's really good. And then you take that original money and extra money and you find another good lucrative deal or platform or thing to invest in. And then you keep doing that. And that's what I've been doing. And a lot of that extra money has now gone into testing out all of these different lending platforms. So I will continue to look for good coins to stake and stuff like that. My next thing I'm going to be focused on is crypto gold. So there probably won't be much of a change in terms of like dividend payouts for a little bit, but then I'll get back into that and looking for more projects once I've really gotten a good grasp on crypto gold and the best stocks and or cryptocurrencies for crypto gold. That being said, actually, if you do invest in any crypto gold, and by crypto gold, I don't just mean like something called crypto gold. I mean something that is a 1-to-1 like representation of gold, whether it's like, I saw several that were like stable coins to gold, based on the kilogram or the, I don't know, there was different weights in how they tokenized versus other ones. Like one was like $60 and one was like 2,000. So obviously the 2,000 is like the base price, whereas the 60 is like the gram or whatever. Feel free to correct me. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing that. That'll be interesting. We'll see how that plays out. In terms of like these lending coins that I'm lending on, these are all different stable coins because I wanted to test out like what are some good stable coins to invest in, what makes the most sense. I found, all the top stable coins for US dollar. And, while I'm not super gung-ho on having a stable coin to the US dollar, I want the concept of ensuring I keep the gains, compounding interest, all that good stuff. You also get the highest interest on stable coins. So I figured I would test this out. If you guys have an opinion on staking something else instead, let me know. I'd be curious to hear what that is. I also got Nexo, but after people sort of like outlined that Nexo has like this ongoing issue that they've got going on, I sold out my Nexo and I'm only keeping $200 on the exchange. I'm only keeping $200 on all of them because in their own little way, they all have something that kind of like is unideal or is better than the other platforms. They've all got some unique benefits and drawbacks, but I'll go into that in a different episode. But I'm currently staking on BlockFi, Nexo, and Celsius. I will say Celsius is probably the best, but we'll dive into all that in another episode. There's just way too much to cover for lending. I'll be doing that in a specific like lending review episode, so stay tuned for that. That is pretty much everything, you guys. Again, if you do want to see my Blockfolio account, let me know and I will maybe do a series on that. Also, let me know if you want me to start a series or maybe just do a few posts or whatever on how I save 65% of my income. Let me know. I'm sorry, this is probably like one of the longest dividend updates I've ever done, but I hope this was insightful. I know I did rant a little bit about the ways to save money, but it's still sound. Just let me know if you want to see more like that in the future. Let me know what stocks you are invested in. Let me know what cryptos you're invested in. Where are you putting your money to make more money? What's the best staking platforms? What's the best lending platforms? Where do you buy gold? Where do you buy crypto gold? So many questions, so much to learn, so little time. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for next time. Thanks for watching this video to the very end. Since you did, make sure to give it a like and comment #1ham in the comments below so that way I know that you watched the whole video. Also, please subscribe to this channel and feel free to follow me anywhere under @ScottCBusiness. I'm basically on every platform. You can also share this with someone else who might gain value from it, and that would be very helpful and impactful to helping my channel grow as well. If you'd like to support me more directly, you can also donate to scottcbusiness.eth or scottcbusiness.crypto listed below. Thank you so much for your support and for watching this video. I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, signing off. Cheers.